All right, there's a lot of great stuff coming out of New Orleans recently that we got to talk about involving the Saints. Look, this is a team that's got a lot of young talent. They got a lot of veteran talent, but there's one new Saint, one rookie who's been in the news for a lot of the right reasons. In fact, I think this is one of the coolest stories of the entire offseason, and I think this should get Saints fan really excited for this young playmaker.
Yeah, Nick, this young Saint really embodies what the Saints culture is all about. And I think this story that you dug up just proves how much of a factor he's going to be for this team going forward. Like you said, very cool story. But Saints fans, we're talking about this season. We're talking about everything coming up. And I want to know, what game are you most looking forward to this season? There's a lot of really fun ones on the docket. There's a lot of new teams you don't get to play as often. Always, those divisional rivalries, very, very tight. I know how much you want to beat the Falcons, but let us know in the comments below, what game are you most looking forward to watching this season? But Nick, let's get on into it. What is this new player doing that's just so special?
Yeah, so one of the New Orleans Saints, if you will, was that I think got a lot of people's attention throughout the draft process was Kendre Miller, the running back from TCU. This guy was an exciting playmaker. Coming out of TCU was potentially the next Alvin Kamara, adding depth to the backfield. Of course, we all know Alvin Kamara's situation, how all that will shake out in that whole ordeal. But there was some disappointing news a few days ago involving Miller. Mize, if you want to throw up the first tweet here, and this is from I think Tom Pelissero. Directly from the tweet here, Saints rookie running back Kendre Miller will miss some of camp with a knee sprain, but could be ready for week one. So maybe he'll be ready for week one, Miles. That was, again, just a few days ago, I believe August 14th. Now, here's the wild story. Let's back up. Let's move ahead to the next tweet. This is from Aaron Summers from yesterday. Running back Kendre Miller just broke through the line at midfield for a touchdown. Good to see him not only participating, but having success versus the Chargers defense. Of course, the New Orleans Saints were in the middle of a joint practice with the Los Angeles Chargers as they get ready for the preseason game on Sunday. Now, think about that for a second, Miles. 4 or 5 days ago, Kendre Miller was like, hey, he's got a knee sprain. He's going to be out all of camp, most of camp. We really hope this kid will be ready to play week one. Fast forward 2 or 3 days. Nope, he's back on the field. Knee sprain, serious knee injury, running back. No problem with this kid. He wants to be on the field. He wants to make plays, and he's making plays. Miles, this guy's a football player. These are the kind of dudes that can really be the backbone of a team. And look, we all know Kamara's great. We know there's a lot of great talent on this offense. Of course, Thomas looks fantastic. Derek Carr looks like he's rejuvenated. Chris Olave is a future superstar. But tough guys, old school guys like Kendre Miller coming in, making this kind of impact, fighting through an injury that was supposed to be weeks long, turns out it's hours long. That will have a big impact on the entire roster, the coaches, everybody. That kind of toughness from a young rookie. I love this story, and I love this kid with the Saints right now. But, Miles, what do you think of this? It's a pretty wild update on New Orleans.
Yeah, reading the second tweet, so you hear the first tweet that, okay, he might be ready by week one, so there's some weeks left before this guy's going to be ready. When we read the tweet, it almost seems to me like the way that it was worded, at first blush, I was like, wow, this guy just put his pads on, ran off the sideline, blew through the line at midfield. He just wanted to get back in there. But obviously, he's doing good. He's healthy. And I think this is a really, really great story for the Saints because Alvin Kamara, I think he's a great running back, but now we know the landscape coming in to when he's going to have to get his next contract. Probably not going to want to pay him all the money due to the unfortunate declining running back market. But this guy seems to be really talented, and there's a lot of assets about him that I like for the Saints that I think could be really great going forward. First of all, this guy was probably the first, and he's the best running back to come out of TCU since LaDainian Tomlinson back in 2000. He ran for 1,399, basically 1,400 yards last season. First 1,000-yard rusher since 2016, and he was the biggest rusher for the Horned Frogs since 2000 with LaDainian Tomlinson. So this guy is scary good. Also, as a freshman running back for TCU, he averaged 7.2 yards per carry that season, which was pretty incredible number if you could keep that up throughout a whole season. But I think the most interesting part to me, Nick, is if you wind it all the way back to this guy's high school career, this guy played high school quarterback. So I'm thinking gadget plays. I'm thinking, get him in there with the Taysom Hills of the world. You never know who's going to be throwing the ball when these guys are both in the backfield together. There's going to be some really interesting gadgetry going on with a mixture of both of those guys on the field. So I love hearing things like that about a guy that, the Saints probably picked up on in their scouting of him. But what do you think about that, Nick? What do you think about all of the opportunities and possibilities they have with this new running back Miller?
Well, I think you brought up opportunity, and I think that's what Miller noticed. And again, I love that from these kids, and I say kids, they're grown men at this point, but I guess to me, they're kids right out of college. But I love that seeing these guys, right? They know the opportunities in front of them because we know Kamara suspended, I believe, the first 3 games. That's going to be Miller's time to shine, splitting times with Jamal Williams at running back. He understands that. He knows if he waits to get back in the game until week 1, the Saints will probably bring in another running back off the street, and suddenly Miller's career gets off to a bumpy start. The competitive energy of this guy, the wantingness, the drive to play, the drive to be great, to take advantage of the opportunity. Alvin Kamara suspension, a negative for Kamara, a negative for the Saints, could be a blessing in disguise, obviously for Miller, but more importantly for New Orleans, if Miller can become a playmaker. And any kind of guy that's willing to take a serious knee sprain, any running back, these guys, their careers last 3 years, right? A serious knee injury of any kind could cut that even more short, right? But this is a guy who wants to play, who wants to compete, who wants to win, because he recognizes the first 3 games of the regular season against the Tennessee Titans, against the Carolina Panthers, against the Green Bay Packers, while Kamara suspended, that's going to be his time to shine. And his toughness, his competitiveness, his drive, I tell you what, Miles, he's going to shine those first 3 games. I think the Saints have stumbled upon something special here.